Alrighty, people, what is happening? Welcome in. This is our last stream of the week, and we will have a ton of questions to get through, but we do greatly appreciate you guys being here with us. Do us a favor as the stream begins and go ahead and hit that like button to show some love. Gotta give y'all a heads up because we are going to do another giveaway today, as we always do. All you need to do to enter the giveaway, I'm just going to pin this comment for y'all, but all you need to do to enter the giveaway is type week 3 into the chat, all one word, just like that, and like the stream. Now, once you've done those two things, you'll be automatically entered to the giveaway. And once we hit 75 likes, and every 75 likes after that, we will do a giveaway and give you guys some vouchers. So appreciate y'all for being here with us, spending your time. You could spend your time in a lot of different ways. So shout out to y'all for being here with us on a Saturday night. All right, so a lot of questions to get to. Here's how the flow of today's stream is going to go. We're going to answer all of the questions on the Flock Fantasy website first, okay? And there are a lot to get through. We've got a big stream in store for us. And then once we are done here on the Flock site, we'll come back to YouTube and we will answer any questions there that we can. But of course, if you want to prioritize yourself, you want a guaranteed reply from the guys, meaning me and Badaki, I don't know why I said that, then you can do that through the Flock site. And the great part about the Flock site is when you submit a question there, you get a time code, a link from our developers showing you exactly when we answered your question on stream, so you don't have to wait around. It is the best. It's the best case scenario for you and for us. Last thing I'll say here before we jump into this stream, if you want our rankings that are constantly updated weekly, rest of season rankings, and you want some free vouchers as well, you can actually become a season pass member with the promo code LAND. Just make sure you use the code LAND, and then you'll get some free vouchers to come on the stream and ask us questions anyway. And you get unlimited access to the Flock site. It's incredible offer. It's a one-time purchase. Okay, Granatismo here with the start sit. Let's just jump straight into it. Daniel Jones or Jared Goff this week?
Jared Goff for me.
Jared Goff. It is that high over under. I'm going to agree with you there.
Yeah.
Then at flex, we have to choose some names. Zay Flowers got to be in there. I think Alvin Kamara got to be in there. And then the last flex spot, there are some good questions to ask. Lab McConkey looks like he's going to play. I don't know that really hurts or helps Johnson. I don't know. Johnson's a player where, you know, he's affected by that with the way that he scores fantasy points. Do you have an opinion on this between Hampton, Johnston, Hunter, Downs?
Yeah. All of it's not ideal. I don't think you can trust Hampton over QJ right now, and I don't think you can trust Hunter over QJ. So for me, it's QJ.
Yeah, not ideal at all. I think if he busts, this is probably the game he does versus Denver. But you got a bunch of options that you just don't know exactly what the answers is going to be. If you're dropping a super chat, got to let you know, which we already have let you know, to be fair. That's going to be answered in quite a while from now, okay? Just a heads up.
I'll make that a night bot so that constantly comes up when people drop a super chat.
Yeah, just so you guys know, when you drop a super chat, you're going to have to wait until we're done here on the Flock site. That's what we've been upfront with y'all. Just want to let y'all know exactly how the stream's going to go. We do that every time. LP says Rice, Fannin on the bench. They're sending away Tracy, Egbuka, Loveland, Hinter to get Evans and Warren. So I really only feel like you're losing Egbuka here. Not to say that Tracy can't be better this year. I just, I just don't see a reason to not take the Evans-Warren side. I mean, you're going from Egbuka to Evans, and I view this as a free Tyler Warren. So that's...
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen anything from Loveland. Hunter is just kind of some, you know, I think you are getting a free Tyler Warren like Zach said, so I agree.
All right. If you're going to spam your question in the chat, you will go to timeout. All right. Just like, you know, when you're in kindergarten and that one kid keeps raising his hand and the teacher says, hold on, be patient, wait your turn. And they keep raising their hand. Sometimes I have to put you in timeout, unfortunately. Matthew Golden and a third or Jamison Williams. I'm going to probably lean Jamison Williams here. It's a dynasty question. The third doesn't really carry any weight for me.
Yeah, I don't think I completely agree. Matthew Golden, I don't think this offense is going to turn pass heavy anytime soon if they continue to play the way they do and they have a crazy defense. So
yeah,
a little bit scary. Bank, sending away Tyler Warren and getting JCM. Start 7. I would just initially just say Tyler Warren without the context of your team, knowing that you have depth at that position.
So he has Ginty, Javonte, Harvey, Stevenson. He has Jake Ferguson though, which makes things interesting because Jake Ferguson's a fine starter. But in a start 7,
opposite.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Right.
So he has Tyler Warren and Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I love JCM, but I feel like that's kind of paying a premium for him.
I agree. In a start 7, I would just still rather have the 2 tight ends. I can probably understand why you want the depth. Yeah. But if I'm going to be selling Tyler Warren, I feel like you should be getting a higher ceiling. Like, I feel like that should be like a Javonte Williams and Alvin. Maybe that's too much, but like that's kind of where I'm at.
Javonte's tough to ask for because he's just been so good, but that's probably more fair value. You're kind of wanting to bank on like that what that player will be. But I kind of agree with you. Even if it's like JCM and Harvey or something, I feel like there's just not enough. Or JCM and Keenan, and then you can give back something that you don't really want anyway. Like who are you going to drop? Then give that player back. But I feel like I have a lot of belief in JCM, but it doesn't mean I have more belief in him than Tyler Warren. Bo Nix, Bucky, Mason, T-Mac, CeeDee Lamb, Tucker Kraft, and Jameson Williams. I don't see a reason to change
anything.
Your lineup here. I would love to play Dobbins if I could fit him in there, but I don't think I can. We still don't really have any word on Tucker Kraft, so you guys need to have a backup and plan.
He will play.
Tucker Kraft said that.
Reports saying that Tucker Kraft, Pelissero, Tucker Kraft need expected to play in week 3.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So he is expected to play. I don't think a team that's 2-0 would put him out there if they didn't feel like he could be himself. So Jacobs or Brown. At this point, I just prefer Josh Jacobs simply because he's in the better offense. In my opinion, an offense that is built around the run game. Jacobs is in an offense that's built around the pass. But unfortunately, we haven't seen the same target share from him. Now, that could change with Jake Browning. But the reason we were kind of obsessed with Chase Brown is because of his usage in the air last year. That hasn't really reflected here in year number in 2025. 3 targets per game. I mean, when he took over in 2024, we're talking 5, 11, 7, 8. It was just a much, safer upside. And at this point, I prefer Jacobs.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Upset flu, James Conner, Travion Henderson. Look, I still, at the moment, still prefer James Conner, but I think we've kind of been seeing the switch. Right? I think it just depends on if you believe in the switch with Henderson.
Now, this really is like you'll win this trade in the first 3 or 4 weeks, but you probably lose it week 10 onwards pretty easily, in my opinion, the way that these two backfields are trending. So if you can afford to wait on Henderson, then I like it. If not, you can keep Conner if you want to get some wins in. By the way, appreciate everybody for being here with us. If you guys have not yet heard, we do have a giveaway today. All you have to do to enter that giveaway is type week 3 into the chat and like the stream. That's as simple as it gets. Okay. And every time we reach 75 likes, we'll do a giveaway for some vouchers. Now, we will answer all the questions on the Flock site first, just like we always say, just like we always tell y'all. And then we'll come back to Super Chats later on. We'll do a time code as well. But we appreciate y'all for being here. But again, if you want to prioritize yourself, the best way to do that is on the Flock site like these people have done. Loki Dusty says, I also have Bo Nix, my wide receivers, flex, keep May or start him. So he would send away May and Scattaboo for Pickens. It's a start 8. He also has Bo Nix. He has Neighbors, JSN, Adunze, Henderson, Golden. It's an interesting trade. There's no team linked here, but
No. Yeah, look, I think why not? If somehow, some way, Cam Scattaboo is your RB3, I think maybe that's something you shouldn't do, and wait and see if that is going to be a trend where he takes over that backfield. But I doubt Cam would be your RB3 there. I would imagine you have more depth, so I would be okay with this trade knowing that you have depth. If not, maybe it's just best to wait.
Yeah, I agree. It depends on the depth of your running backs. At start, sit here for Travis. If Daniel's not going to play, so you should start Murray
start
there.
Kyler.
At running back, Ashton Genty's got to be in there. Got to
Mhm.
keep playing him. At wide receiver, yeah. Let me double check my rankings here because this is a tough one, but we might.
I think I have Mike. Yeah, I have Mike over Tataroa.
I have Mike there, but it's very close. But I would probably play T-Mac over Ladd. I don't know if that sounds crazy, but I would.
Right. So you would play T-Mac, and then in the flex, would you play Ladd or Sutton then?
Yeah, well, it's either Ladd, Sutton, or Mason, and they're all great options. This is the difficult part about playing in a 10-teamer.
Yeah, so for me, I would start Mike, Ladd, and Tet in that.
Yeah, I'm fine to put Ladd into the flex. I think it's pretty much dead even between him and those other options. Josh Allen, Gibbs, Mason, London, T-Mac, Bowers, Montgomery. Now, I guess the question is, would you play Monty or Olave, Monty or Pearsall, Monty or Henderson? I kind of lean Olave this week. I could see a really good game for Montgomery. I could also see worst case scenario if the Lions are down. If they're down in the second half and they need to score, Montgomery's not going to be on the field. So I probably lean Olave here.
Yeah, Olave's really close. I think in a weird way, Pacheco's in play because he plays my Giants.
Yeah.
But I would go Olave. I'm going to go Olave there. C-Town Mafia says, should I keep Tank on my Dynasty IR?
Yeah.
There's no reason why you shouldn't unless there's somebody on the waiver wires.
Yeah, unless there's an incredibly attractive name out there. You know, you're keeping him for free. I don't see why not.
Exactly. Sam Latina, he says, full PPR 12-team 1 flex. Showing your team here. Other trade with this owner. So you're sending away Brian Thomas and you're receiving JCM and George Pickens. But you currently have Pollard, Monty at the running back position, and you have a Monra, BT Day, Debo, QJ Addison.
Really not great depth anywhere. I imagine you might have gone really hard on Jalen Hurts. You probably punted running back in your draft. So JCM would actually be quite impactful on this roster.
I just think another scenario where let's have a look at the wrong team. Now, would you have a higher tier on a running back and then lower tier? I feel like what he's getting is 2 mid-level guys.
Yeah.
Like you're getting a JCM, like RB20 hypothetically, and then George Pickens RB20 or wide receiver 25. Like, how about we go get a top 10 guy at running back and then a low-end wide receiver that has upside?
I think that's possible in a world where Brian Thomas recovers in the next couple weeks, but I don't think you could do that for Brian Thomas right now. This is probably the most you could max out of him.
Yeah.
I don't think it's crazy. In a start 7, I don't want to do this move typically, but your running back room is easily the worst in your league. Like, it's not really that close, honestly. So yeah, you're in a tough spot. You lost Kittle. You went early on the onesies in your draft at both positions, and that it makes it so hard to build a cohesive team. And then one of your onesies got injured, and you went running back late. You just kind of put yourself in a really tough spot. I think Brian's going to be really great moving forward. Don't really have like a counter for this because, again, I don't think you can get more out of Brian Thomas than what you're getting. I don't see the market, giving you more.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, could you add Pollard and get Brown to this? I don't think that's possible, but that would be like the one counter I could think of. Otherwise, he's kind of giving you fair value in the community.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
In a weird way, I get it. I know you need to kind of make this trade, but at the same time, like, maybe it's just best to hold, and then you can sell Brian Thomas next week if you kind of revalues
if he gets locked up by Singleton or whatever the hell his name is, then you're not going to get a package like this. So it's a little bit chicken or the egg situation there. Saint Larod We're starting Allen, Jacobs, Javonte, Adams, Chase, Ferguson, Adunze. At flex, my God, 8-team league. Well, with Charbonnet
Not playing.
I think Walker's the answer.
Agreed.
He's doubtful, but that probably means he's not playing.
Yeah. PvP. At the flex here, I'll go Mbuka since he's playing.
Book. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Jonathan, you are sending away Emeka Mbuka and Chase Brown for Derrick Henry. 1 quarterback start 8.
I don't
thought is no.
I don't really understand it.
No.
I don't think Chase Brown's going to be this bad that you can rationalize making a move like this in a 12-team start 8. I don't imagine your lineup is that good unless your entire league is full of just smooth brains. Which maybe it is because your squad is, I don't like what. Okay, so if he does this trade, he loses his wide receiver 2 and his RB1, but he would still have Jameson, Debo, Adunze. I don't know, like
he loses depth. I think I just don't like it. In the start 8, yeah, you'd lose Mbuka and Chase.
We're okay to sacrifice depth if you get like a clear, unquestioned upgrade. I don't know that you're getting that here.
Yeah, and there's still question marks. Like you have Jawan there, Travion. If Travion doesn't make the step, like you're kind of hoping, I think, for a lot of other guys. In my opinion, I just wouldn't do this trade. But.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. I think Derrick's going to be great, but I also think Chase Brown's going to be okay as well. He's going to be fine. There's not a big enough gap there. It's not like you're sending James Conner, you know. Jared Goff and Kyler Murray.
I'm going Goff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Goff higher than Kyler.
As do I. Bucky Walker at wide receiver 2. Tough decision here. I feel like Zay is the answer in that over-under. And then at the flex,
it would be Zay and Mike for me.
Zay and Mike, yeah, I agree. Yep. ISU03 says Kraft for either T. Higgins or 26 first. You can only get one? Then you probably hold Tucker Kraft, right? I mean, I definitely updated my Dynasty rankings. Kraft should not be that low.
For me, I'll do this for T, not for the first. That's how I see this. I still want T. Higgins. I don't think Tucker Kraft is going to go higher in a Dynasty startup than T. Higgins, even right now. So I'll take T, but that 26 first, I think, obviously you can't guarantee. So
yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on this. I think Kraft has a chance to establish himself as like a very valuable asset. I don't think either of these assets that you're getting have a chance to really improve their dynasty value. And if it's only one or the other, I'm probably just going to keep Kraft right now. If I can get both, of course, you take the package. But yeah, J. Rudd, start sit here. They've got Jones, Kyron, Scadaboo, Marvin, CD, Bowers, Smith. Would you start someone over Devonta Smith? Or at RB2?
Yeah, RB2 is a conversation. You're starting RJ Harvey or Trey Benson.
Or Scadaboo.
Or Cam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it is Cam. I've got Cam at 29, Benson at 30. Harvey is not playable right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed.
Where do I have Harvey?
Yeah, I'm there with you. And then Allah, the flex. I'm gonna still go Devonta Smith. Let me just double check. Yeah, I'm going Devonta Smith.
Sorry, that was my dynasty rankings, but I still have it in the same order. Yeah, I just don't have them ranked that high. I have Scadaboo at 35, Benson at 38, and then at flex, what did you say, Devonta?
I'm still going Devonta. Yeah,
I'm fine with it. Cuppin.
All right, Cuppin here. I'm gonna go
Caleb for
Daniel
me.
Jones or Caleb. I need to double check that.
Caleb for me. Don't love missing out on that over under.
I do have Caleb. I have Caleb there as well with you. Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne, Monra, CD, start Jawan Johnson at that flex. I'm going to go Loud McConkey here.
Yeah.
I think since you have CD already there, that's great. I don't know if you want to have so much value in that game because you already have Caleb and CD, and then if you were to potentially add George Pickens, because I know he has a good matchup, but Jalen Warren's also interesting.
That's what I was going to say. Warren is actually really interesting here too. I think you can make an argument that Warren's actually the safest play, but I do think Ladd has a really big advantage in this matchup in particular. The amount that he plays in the slot, I think they'll be more intentional with him this week. Andre, 6-point quarterback. Wilson, Penix, Geno, Rogers on the waivers, I guess he's saying. So it's either Lawrence, Russell Wilson, Penix, Browning, Geno, Rogers. I think I lean Browning here.
This for me would be Lawrence still.
Yeah.
It would the next man up for me would technically be Michael Penix because again he's playing against the Panthers, but
that doesn't tell me, like, in my opinion, that tells me they might not need to throw the ball at all. So that worries me actually.
Sure. Which I understand.
Yeah, look,
Trevor Lawrence there.
It's not an easy question to answer for sure. But
yeah,
I'm probably gonna lean. I think Trevor. If you have to drop Trevor, then you just keep him. But I think Browning I'd prefer this week. At running back, of course. Hopefully you already started Achane.
Hopefully.
Kyron. At wide receiver,
CD.
of course, CD.
Well, it would be Sutton technically.
We don't know if you started Waddle or not, right? I mean, we don't know. He scored a touchdown, but we have no idea if he was in your lineup.
If we were to set the lineup before, I still would have gone Garrett Wilson over Waddle personally, but like obviously now we know the context of that.
Yeah, so let's just say Garrett. If you already started Waddle, then you've already started him. You can't change that.
Yeah.
What's up, Zachary? It's always good to see another Zachary with the CH. CH gang, stand up. Okay, would you send Puka Nacua for Jefferson and AJ Brown? Wow, I hope Nathan is seeing this.
This is in redraft.
Yeah.
Start 7.
Would it improve his starting lineup? So
yeah,
if you look at his lineup right now, he's starting Jones, CMC, someone at RB2. Right now, then it's Puka, Kraft, and he only has 2 other spots, which would be Sutton and Jameson. I don't know. Yeah. It seems insane not to accept this trade.
Yeah, I mean that's where I'm at. I would be taking the JJ and AJ
at the same time. Puka is my if we redid fantasy drafts, Puka's. I'm not gonna say he's locked and loaded 101, but he's in contention for 101 with like 4 other names. So I don't think that Puka and Jefferson are in the same tier right now. We'll see. Maybe like Carson Wentz does that, but then you have to come back and be like, well, they're not gonna sit JJ McCarthy when he's healthy. Man, I wish I could turn off super chats. I genuinely don't know how to. I tried to find out how to do it.
Here, let me do it.
People are just gonna have a hard time waiting that long.
I'm pretty sure I
Look,
can do it.
I don't think this improves their starting lineup. That's my issue. But I do think you get the most value. So logically, it makes sense to take the package, but then you don't get Puka Nacua. So that's a tough one. I wish you the best of luck with that decision. Dave says, hey guys, hoping this is optimal lineup. Also, love of God. Please, some ideas on trading Hampton or getting running back depth. Yeah, I mean, Dave, you've been with us for a long time. I think you know exactly where we're going to go here. You cannot trade a player that everybody knows is not performing. That just doesn't work. It doesn't work. You don't have any leverage. You need leverage in fantasy football. Okay? And you have none right now. Your only option is to hold. What are you going to do? You're going to send Amarion Hampton away for... I mean, if we look at rankings, like... I don't even think you get James Conner right now. And I still want, Hampton long term. Are you going to send Amarion away for Harvey? Swift? Dobbins? Stevenson? It's just the worst time you could possibly sell him. And unfortunately, he's probably your... Between him and Kareem Hunt, it's actually pretty close, I would say. This week. I think I would play Kareem Hunt. And then at wide receiver, of course, Odunze's got to be in there. At tight end, Jawan Johnson for sure. Yeah, I think that's your optimal lineup. Yeah. Fortunately, there's no like Saquon Barkley to start here. There's no Bijan. There's no obvious names. So you have to choose between a bunch of names you don't really want to play. So, yeah. Sorry, Dave. I wish I had better news for you, man. All right. Tight end premium. Also have offer to get Genty. It's a rebuild. He would send away McBride. He would get back Judkins, a first, Benson, and Harold Fannin. It's an interesting question. A first, Judkins, Benson, and Fannin. In a start 11, I would find it difficult not to accept this. He also has an offer to get Genty. Would you rather have Genty or a first, Judkins, Benson, and Fannin in a tight end premium? Probably the package at this point.
Yeah, the package is because of how all these guys are being utilized and the expectation of Trey Benson, Quinshawn already, Harold Fannin in the tight end premium. I mean, in a tight end premium, is Fannin scoring the same amount of points as Trey McBride currently?
It's not far off, but McBride's still scoring more.
Yeah, he is still McBride 13 and averaging 13 fantasy points. Harold 11.7. Now that's not going to probably continue.
If Fannin even has the career of a TJ Hawkinson, you win this trade. He doesn't even need to have a Kelsey career. I think I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
All right. We got through the first round, but there are still plenty of questions in there. We're ready to be answered. If you guys want to enter today's giveaway, very simple. Like the stream. That's step 1. Step 2 is type week 3 into the chat, all one word, and you'll be entered into today's giveaway. Every time we reach 75 likes, we're going to give away some vouchers. Smalls here with the start sit. Love, Saquon, Warren, Odunze, Puka, Johnson. At flex, I feel like you have to still go Higgins here.
Yeah, I agree.
Thorge, Caleb, Javonte, Bucky, Odunze, Lamb, McBride. At flex, between Chuba and Marvin and Jameson, I would have trouble sitting Chuba. I don't think I could do that, so I'm going to go Chuba. Jake.
Yes, I agree. I think I just turned off super chat.
Okay, great. Jake, they would send away Kyler, T-Mac, and Flowers. They would get back Baker and Nico. It's a redraft league. The quarterbacks, I don't really care. I hate that you're doing this trade to like upgrade at quarterback. I don't know if that makes sense, but
sure. It definitely does.
I don't like that being a reason you do a trade here, especially when it's not for like an elite Lamar, Josh Allen. You know, you losing T-Mac and who else was it?
Zay Flowers.
And Zay. You have so much depth. I don't think this actually hurts your team, but
I personally think like, yeah, like it doesn't hurt your team because Zay is, you're probably not even starting Zay in a start 7, or maybe you are. You're struggling on whether who you should be starting.
You're trying to consolidate, maybe. I mean,
so this starting lineup with, if he does this trade, will be Baker, Bijan, Chase, Drake, London.
Here's what I would
Then
say.
you
I would
have
say
Nico Collins. And
don't give
Lat.
me
Yeah,
don't give me the quarterback. Just I want Taylor and I'll give you Chase Brown.
Yeah, I'm okay
Nico
with
and
that trade.
JT for T-Mac, Flowers, and Chase Brown. That's my counter.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Yeah. All right. Taylor is next. This is I have CMC, Gibbs, Rice, Pickens, and Buka Higgins. Big trade here. Sending away Mason, Walker, Brian Torres, Fannin, receiving Gibbs, Nick Chubb, Jerry, Jawan.
Hmm. So you're getting Gibbs, which is the best player in the deal, pretty easily, but then you're getting a bunch of shit outside of Juwan Johnson. That's the
I
problem.
don't want Nick Chubb. I mean, like, yeah, there's just a lot. You don't have your team linked, unfortunately.
My counter to this trade would be let's remove giving Mason and getting Chubb. Then I think I'm there.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Because Gibbs was more value right now than BTJ, and you can probably say like Kenneth Walker and Jerry are pretty even. And we want Juwan over Harold, or it can be close, however way you see that.
Alberto, it looks like he needs help with his flex, and
I would be going
close.
I'll be going one of the wide receivers, so Keenan Allen or Pittman. Let me just double check.
I'm gonna go Keenan there, but it's very close.
Yeah, I would have Keenan Allen higher.
Yeah.
That's where I'll be. Danny.
It's so hard because inevitably some of these Chargers receivers will bust. Like Ladd will have a big game at some point. It's just hard to not start them on a heater right now.
Danny, appreciate you. He says, who do I pick up for Kraft, Ertz, Ferguson, Henry? Also, do I start anyone on my bench over Connor? Now, Kraft is going to play if you haven't heard that.
So you don't have to do that at all.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. Now,
question is Connor or
anywhere.
Sutton?
I will be playing Sutton.
Connor plays San Francisco. You know, the Cardinals have played the Panthers and who else? The Saints, right?
The Saints.
So they haven't really been in like negative game script, and I'm curious if the running back rotation will look different if they're more more neutral games.
Yeah, and this is going to be a divisional game, right? Yeah, this is a divisional game. So
I think Connor is safer than Sutton, but I think Sutton has a higher upside. So I'm probably going to lean Connor there, but it's very close. The good news for him, he doesn't have to figure out the Kraft situation. Would you send away Worthy for Judkins? I would have a hard time not saying yes to that. And I'm not a doctor. I want to make this like very clear, but when you most likely need to have surgery on your shoulder, and then you're going to be asked to run routes across the field versus zone coverages and somehow not get hit, I don't see a world where this ends well for Worthy if they play him over the course of the season.
He's not playing in week 3.
I just mean at all.
At all.
And this guy definitely needs running back help. So here's the thing. This trade's going to feel really bad after this week because Judkins is going to just shit the bed versus the Green Bay Packers. But I still think he's the most valuable asset in this deal.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I'll take Quinshon Judkins there. Combat, he says, JD's down, Mariota or Wentz. I like them week 3. So,
yeah, okay.
For me, I just feel like I'm going to go with the highest over/under game. My personal opinion would be Browning over Wentz, Wentz over Mariota.
Okay.
Because they're playing in Bengals in Minnesota, so that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, Marcus, I feel like just that rushing upside in the matchup versus the Raiders. I really think this could go either way. I don't really have a strong opinion. I want to say that. But I probably lean Marcus because he does have that same rushing. He's not the same player as Jaden, but the offense won't change. If anything, it will change to be more run heavy. So, and I like that matchup more. They're both great matchups. Agadoran at quarterback. Josh Allen. We're starting. Hopefully started Achane already.
You started Achane.
Taylor.
Wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. Rome Odunze.
Rome.
Tetaroa. Trey McBride. And then this would be JCM.
Yeah. No, I think that lineup is pretty that's a pretty confident answer. It doesn't mean we're guaranteed to get it right, but pretty confident with the knowledge that we have. A1 base would send away Bowers for Hampton and redraft? No way.
Why is this even a question? Respectfully,
No,
is there something wrong with your team?
this is, this is not a buy low on Amari and Hampton. This is a pay a premium. Bowers went before Hampton when the season began, and he's been the most disappointing pick so far. So, like Hampton has. So, yeah, no, there's no way we're doing this trade.
Yeah. No
Crimson, starting Daniel Jones, Mason, Irving. By the way, you can cut Joe Burrow unless you have a free IR spot. Waddle, Lamb, Fannin at flex.
Between Chubb, Franklin, and Calvin.
Who did the Texans play?
The Texans
Chubb
play the Jags.
I'm not gonna say he got lucky, but like that one touchdown, the offense was so bad with him as the lead rusher. So I don't want to call it lucky, but yeah.
I think one for sure I'm going to play is Troy. I think you can go either way with Nick Chubb and Calvin. Feels like Chubb is just a safer bet.
Chubb will touch the ball more than anyone else here, if that interests you.
And I hope that Chargers Broncos game is high scoring. So, and I hope I'm believing Troy Franklin is.
Yeah,
is going to be a part of that offense. And
there's certainly no consistency yet, but we did love Troy coming out of Oregon, and he could be finally shining. When you have so many options that you don't love, I feel like you do just shoot for upside at this point. Like, think of like best case scenario for all these players. I think best case scenario is like Ridley and Franklin get into the end zone and, big broken plays. Best case scenario for Chubb, unless there's like a goal line touchdown, is like 3 yards per carry, 15 carries.
How have the Jags been against the run? I guess the Jags stopped Chase Brown, and what was the first team they played?
They played the Chuba Hubbard. Which Hubbard did great. Safe and Sound says, 101, need your advice. Thanks for all you do. He's got Caleb in there. Then Derek, Bijan, Adunze, Ladd, Ertz, Javonte, and then at the flex spot, if Sharp is out, it's got to be Walker.
Yeah, it's crazy that you're sitting for those 4 guys. That's wild.
It is crazy that you're sitting them, but would you play Evans over Ladd?
No,
I would personally, but.
And the reason that being is just because I think Tampa is going to run away with this game. I'm not that Tyrod is incompetent. It's just I think this could be like kind of bully bull type vibe.
Sure.
But that could be completely wrong. Maybe Tyrod comes out and starts slinging it.
There's a wide range of outcome for a lot of these games. But I lean Mike, and I don't envy that being in that position. I would hate to be in leagues where every week I'm like, damn, I have 4 guys I have to start, and I can't start them all. Okay, so a little update on the giveaway. We did reach 75 likes, I believe. Yes, so this is your last chance to get in. We will do the giveaway after this next question. Right now, only 36 entries, so you have a great chance. That's the lowest we've seen this entire year. So if you want to enter, all you have to do is like the stream and type week 3 into the chat, and then you'll be entered. And then after this next question that we answer, we'll do the first giveaway. Beagle says, any ideas to upgrade at my wide receiver 2? Open to all ideas. So he would send Mason and Marvin for Nico. I think Nico goes insane this week. I think he goes absolutely nuclear. But you would send away Marvin and Mason to start 7. You can afford to do that.
I'm okay with this because you're never going to start Mason on this team with Derek, Bijan, and Williams there.
Can you get back something, though? Like, I feel like you should be able to counter and get back either a Stevenson. If not Stevenson, then what about a Jennings or, a Wandale? I feel like there's probably some small piece you can send your way that has some value, even stashing Ollie Gordon at this point.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Tommy Lee, start sit. Dak, Bijan, Cook, JS and AJ Brown, Laporta. And then at the flex,
it's going to be Marvin for me.
Yeah, probably same. Not fun, though. Too many great options.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this giveaway. We have 47 entries, and I'm going to go ahead and carry your names over. So let's give away a start sit voucher here. And the first start sit voucher.
Good luck to everyone.
The first start sit voucher goes to Matty Ice, which we've known Matty Ice for a while as someone on the channel. Hey Matty, all you got to do is send me a screenshot of your YouTube account, and then tell me your Flock Fantasy username. There's my Discord. Send it to me on Discord. I'm pretty sure you have an account already on the Flock site, but if you don't, and this goes out to anybody who doesn't have an account, you can create one for free. Link your Sleeper, ESPN, Yahoo account, see Expert Consensus Opinion. And just make sure when you guys are creating a free account, you use a code LAND so we can find y'all on the back end. There's a direct link there in the chat for you guys. All right, start sit question. Let's see. The start sit question goes to... It goes to Lennon Paris. So same exact thing, Lennon. DM me on Discord with that information. Appreciate y'all for being here. Again, all you got to do to enter that giveaway, every 75 likes, we will do it, is type week 3 into the chat and like the stream. Okay, Gleaming Hovercraft is sending away a second Wilson, Downs, and Hunter for Genty and Keenan. Okay, right. With respect to Downs, I don't think he's not valuable in Dynasty, but yeah. I'm not sure he retains the upside that I thought he did before the year. I think giving up on Hunter this early is tough, but I also think you're getting Genty, who's also someone that, you're not really quote unquote giving up on.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe you could counter and get a third back, so it's a second and third round pick swap, but I'm not opposed to getting Genty here.
Yeah, completely agree there with you. I'm okay with sending away everyone, Genty, or Hunter, excuse me. Mr. Figueroa says, I'm currently 0-2. I lost by 1.3 points last week. Please help me get the dub this week. I apologize. That really sucks.
Pain, but that's fantasy.
Wide receiver position, it's going to be Lat McConkey for me. You already have Malik. You're starting Jawan Jennings, and then...
Flex is really difficult here. I would say Warren is probably your safest play, but I think DJ Moore is probably the highest upside given the nature of that Cowboys-Bears matchup, how high the over-under is, how bad both their defenses are. So I think Warren's the safest, but DJ's the highest upside, and I think in a 10-team you go upside.
Yeah. You do go upside. Funny enough, I actually have DJ Moore and Keenan Allen back-to-back, so you kind of choose your... Hopefully... that doesn't make it more confusing, but I would go DJ Moore because of the matchup there as well. So
yeah. Dan R. Keed, what's up, man? He has May on the waiver wire. No, you just start Drake May. I think if Drake May's on any waiver wires, guys, he's easily a top 10 quarterback for me rest of season. I think he has upside to be a top 6 quarterback. Drake May's the type of guy that you can pick up, and if you have other backups and you don't want to keep them on your roster, you can drop those other guys and just trust Drake May each week. But May, Kamara, Jacobs, Evans, Thomas, Puka, Tyler at the flex spot. I hate it, but Higgins is probably the best option there. And then
technically, I would say Omarion. But I don't know if I trust Omarion or do you go with an upside with Cam, or do you go with TJ Hawkinson, who can be the dump off king?
I have Cam above Omarion, and I just think if this is going to be a negative game script for the Giants, Cam is probably going to get more dink and dumps than a Hampton would.
Sure.
But
I can definitely see.
But I really think you can make a case for any of those names.
Yeah, not ideal.
Elias sending away Mayfield, Harvey, Chase for Caleb, Chase Brown, and Nico. Okay, so I have no problem with this. I think this is a buy low on Chase Brown, and I prefer Nico over Chase rest of season. Although I have them in the same tier, it's not really that far off. So I'm fine with this.
14-team league, that's fine. Catester. Daniel Jones, I would be going, Swifty here, James Conner, Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Harold Fannin, and at the flex, this would be Jameson Williams.
Yeah, I think it is Jameson Williams. So
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Good luck, Cadester. Randy.
Randy.
Sending away Mason for Caleb. It's a Dynasty League, though.
I would do it still. I mean, I'm going to go with draft capital, hoping and believing that Caleb. All I got to say is, in a weird way, this is a big risk.
Well, they actually elevated Trey Sermon from the practice squad, and I'm really concerned as to why they did that.
Because they're probably going to make Caleb a healthy scratch and not play.
Yeah, and if he does that, like, do we really think this trade isn't available next week? You know what I mean? Like, do you envision a scenario in which Caleb Johnson breaks out this week? Because I don't.
No, but I envision a scenario where you won't be able to do this straight up for Jordan Mason and Caleb. Like for Jordan Mason.
See, I think this trade's available next week if you want it. And you might as well see what Mason can do in a full-time role.
And I know, like, it's going to be interesting because the way Jalen Warren's being used now, I feel like Caleb's in a situation where it can be like year 3 type of. He got that
Caleb,
contract.
it might not. He might be this year's Trey Benson, but worse.
Yeah, it's just not ideal. I'll still do the trade. Just know that that could be a big risk of like it being nothing.
Yeah,
Zach.
I don't want to overreact, but I would probably. I just think this trade's available next week. I could be wrong, but I just feel like this trade's still going to be available next week, so I would hold Mason. Go ahead.
Zach Hole. Not sure who to start. Sutton, AJ Brown, or T-Mac. Okay. Jordan Love, Javonte Mason. You're starting CD. AJ Brown and Tetaro. I'm pretty sure I have AJ Brown ahead of Tet, but let me just triple check that.
But I think from a flex perspective, you're going to start both of them anyway. When you look at this lineup.
So say it less. So
yeah, AJ and T-Mac are both going to be in that lineup there. You know, Sutton could be great. No doubt about it. We're not anti-Sutton, but that's just the way we would set your lineup for this week.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
MX. Okay, your starting lineup is Penix, Henry, Saquon, Rome, Marvin, Jawan, and Stephon Diggs. Other people. Oh, you have Amika and Buka, brother. You better start Amika and Buka there for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
And quarterback, there's no one else.
I would.
This is
I would just.
Quarterback.
I would just say, like, definitely look on the waiver wire and see if there's a better option. I could see a world where Penix is great versus Carolina. I could see a world where they don't even need to throw the ball. So if there is Jake Browning, a Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, Stafford, Mac Jones, I'd probably prefer those names. Jordan Love, obviously, Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
So
combat. He said, with this combination of elite talent, who are my starting 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and 1 flex? Okay, so you have Jordan Mason, Jahmyr Gibbs.
He's entered it a little bit strange, but we can still answer his question. Just so you know, in the future, my friend, best way for you to submit a start-sit question is linking your team, right? Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo first. Then you can click on whatever league it is. It automatically inputs your settings. And then just choose one player that you know you're locked in on, Bo Nix, and it automatically recognizes my team. Then it tells us your starting lineup from like how many you have to start. You can go each position and tell us who you're considering, right, all the way through. And that's going to make our life easy because we will be able to set your lineup, you know, pretty much straight away. The way you've done it is you've just given us all the players that you could start, which we can still answer it this way. Because basically we have to choose. Well, this is more like asking as a super chat, but
yeah. So
2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. So start 5 names.
Yeah. So the running backs, you're going to start Jahmyr Gibbs for sure. I would also start Alvin Kamara.
Yep.
At the RB2 spot. At that wide receiver 1 and 2 spot, you're gonna go Brian Thomas, and then I would go Tet.
Yep.
And at that flex spot, this is where I'll go Jordan Mason. Or we can go George Pickens with the upside in that matchup. I think that's probably where I would go actually.
I was going to agree with you at first there with Jordan Mason. He plays the Bengals. Talked about him in a video this week, but that is one of the best matchups for your running backs. They give up the second most points through 2 weeks to the running back spot. He'll get all the work. The coaching staff has talked about how they trust him as a workhorse. So But I like, you could totally be right with the Pickens call. I lean Mason myself. So
Yeah, appreciate you, Combat. Jonah, thank you so much, man. He says he's sending away George Pickens and Matthew Golden for AJ Brown. I would be okay with this trade easily in a redraft. Matthew Golden,
Oh, yeah.
even with Jaden Reed being out, I don't see how they need to throw the ball at all with how good they are.
he's going to be good, but I think it's more like he has to be Jameson Williams. He's not going to be Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
If I know that's not the perfect analogy, but he has to be Jameson to be relevant this year. Unless their defense is going to sustain some injuries, right? So
Yeah.
I think this is a good buy low on AJ Brown personally.
Appreciate you. And you also have another start sit question. Golf Walker HN. You're gonna start Ibuka there. Justin Jefferson, Brenton Strange, and then Javonte Williams here seems really, really
You put Ibuka, right?
interesting. Yeah, Ibuka. It's hard to sit George Pickens though there, but that's kind of the play.
Yeah, Javonte is just going to touch the ball 100,000 times.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Jonah.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
Logan.
And honestly, by the way, that's not a bad team at all for a 14-team league.
Not at all.
That's a good
Bo
team.
Nix, James Cook. You're gonna start Jahmyr Gibbs. Wow, look at this running back room. It's crazy.
Yeah.
8-man team, of course. Malik Neighbors. I am going to be starting Tet at the flex. I'll go the running backs and Walker and Jacobs there.
Yeah, a lot of great players. You could maybe upgrade from Bo Nix to an elite quarterback if you use one of these names, but that are on your bench. GG sends away Irving and Evans to get back Hampton and Puka. Worried about running back after trade. Yeah, so if you make this trade, your running backs are going to... Well, you lose Bucky, right?
I guess like I would just
Saquon and Hampton.
I would just I would rather have Quinshon over Marion. I think if you can switch Quinshon into Marion.
Well, he already has Quinshon.
All right, I'm looking at the wrong side. He's getting a Marion. Yeah.
I kind of,
Never mind, man.
in such a small league, I know it's Puka Nakua. I think it's hard to, you can't replace Puka, but yeah, this is about as even as it gets, honestly. You're paying a premium. You're going to have to wait on Hampton, but I think you could make an argument that maybe your starting lineup gets worse because you have to play Hampton or Judkins this week, and that's hell.
Yeah.
So I probably would stay strong at running back, although that's really hard to say no to Puka. Should I drop someone for Pacheco or Diggs? So we're going to start Drake May this week, then Connor, Williams, London, Chase, Kraft. At the last flex, it's Garrett Wilson. But should I drop someone for Pacheco or Diggs? Zach Ertz.
Yeah, I mean, 10-man league. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of depth there. Why not?
Zach Ertz, go get Pacheco. It should be a smash week, and if he doesn't smash, you drop him straight away. If he does, maybe you have some interest in a trade. You don't hold on to Pacheco long-term, though, in a 10-team league. To check out here, at quarterback, we're going to start Lamar. At running back, you got to be putting in there Chase Brown.
Yeah, I'm there.
Now, I think this is where you start Pacheco. I don't love it, but I think that's your best option in that matchup versus the Giants. At wide receiver, Jefferson is in. Roma Dunze is in. At tight end, Fannin is in. And at your flex spot, for me, it's between Jameson and Debo.
It will be Debo for me.
Yeah, I don't know how much they're going to pass, but I think Debo will be in the script naturally.
Yeah, I agree naturally, and I think the Raiders are they're competent enough to score. You know, like Gino
didn't look like it last week, but I agree.
No, it didn't. It didn't, but I think they are competent enough to like get the ball down the field. They can move the ball in if it is, maybe they just get a bunch of points with field goals, but I can understand.
Okay, that failed to go through, so give me a second to refresh here. But how can people enter today's giveaway, Badaki?
Yeah, if you want to enter today's giveaway, all you have to do is type in week 3 in the chat, which I'll put in week 3 in the chat. And then when we hit 150 likes, we will get that giveaway to you. So once again, type in week 3, make sure you like the stream, and that's exactly how you can enter a giveaway, which we'll be giving out a start sit and a trade question. Okay?
Just so to checkout knows, we answer this question in detail. Just scroll back like 60 seconds to hear our answer. Noxious says start Nix or Williams, start Stevenson at flex. So Nix or Williams. I'm gonna go with Bo Nix personally.
Agreed.
Then at flex, Stevenson, or I would probably start Sutton of all these names.
Yeah.
But Stevenson has a great matchup.
I'm pretty sure I have. Let me just triple check. I'm pretty sure I have DJ over Sutton, but it's really close. No, I have Sutton.
Okay.
I thought I had DJ for a quick
D. Correa, Daniel Jones at quarterback, and then at flex, he's really tossing up Keenan and Garrett. I think Dobbins is also in play. I think Garrett of all the options.
Yeah, it's Garrett for me as well. But I wouldn't be surprised if Keenan outscores Garrett this week.
No, wouldn't be surprised. One of those Chargers got to bust at some point. This would be the week if any of them do versus the Denver secondary. Savage Pants. Wow. That's what I have those on.
Aaron Rodgers, gosh.
Jalen Warren for sure over Harvey.
Derrick Henry. I am going to be going T. Higgins. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think am I going Ricky or Olave?
I'm going Olave there.
Let me see. Yeah, I'm going Olave as well.
Yep.
2 spots off from Ricky, but it is close. With
Tootin or Travion Henderson from Daniel 007. As far as like a start this week, I guess is the question.
Starting, I don't think you can start. I feel like Tootin is the better start from what we saw last week. I feel like you kind of have to start him. But like, I'm saying this, but at the same time, I still have Henderson over Tootin.
Yeah, I have Henderson. Just, you know, both of their roles are gonna grow. You're kind of just making your call here, and my call would be betting on Travion Henderson. So yeah. Yeah.
J Mall. He says tight end and flex quarterback. Okay. Start, keep, drop. Okay, sorry. At the tight end, you start Tyler Warren. And it looks like your starting lineup is kind of the way I would go. Actually, I would switch Mbuka. I'm trying to see if I should switch Mbuka for George Pickens or for Chuba Hubbard. That's where my mind's at currently.
I'd probably do it for Pickens, although Pickens still has a great matchup. Would you start Mason over Hubbard? No, but would you start Mason or Pickens? Really, is a question.
I would start Mason over Hubbard. I'm stuck between Hubbard and who was the other guy? Chuba. Or George. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where I'm stuck on currently.
All right.
I'm just gonna go with the highest over under with George.
Okay, I think I am starting Jordan Mason over George, but when I look at your lineup and you have Dak, you're in an 8-team league, you really need to just hit on upside. And with that context in mind, I'm probably going to put Pickens into my lineup, because if Dak is good, you're making the bet that also Pickens is going to be good. And in an 8-team league, everybody's lineups are going to be stacked. So you kind of have to make some kind of bets, you know, and that's the bet you have to make.
Yeah. So I will be sitting Chuba. Zach would be sitting Mason.
Yes.
Okay.
DeBaum Diggity is starting Goff, Gibbs, Brown at wide receiver. T-Mac is my most confident along with Igbuka. Then at the flex between Mason and these receivers, I'm going to keep Mason in there, but it's very close.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of Tyler Warren. I feel like I might as well just start to both the tight ends.
Yeah, you can do that.
I can understand it. Nate. Dak, Achan, Bucky, Jamar. You're going to start Roma Dunze. And then at the flex, got 10 team. My goodness.
Walker.
Debo, Mike, Walker, yeah.
You're going to get this wrong. You can't sit an entire roster of players that are all startable names and then get it right. Like, it's just inevitable.
Yeah.
Safe and sound. Switched out Caleb for Chase Browning. My bud is playing Chase. I want to benefit. Sound move.
I mean, if you are playing against Chase Brown, technically that's not a sound move.
Well, he's playing against Jamar Chase.
Oh, Jamar Chase.
So in his mind, if Jamar Chase goes off, then
so is Browning.
So is Browning. But at the same time, what if they don't play well? And Caleb Williams goes off, and you're playing 3D chess here. I definitely understand the question, and it makes logical sense. But I would probably just go with my rankings. And my rankings say Caleb Williams in this matchup is a smash.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
But I understand why that's a question.
I think you might have to resubmit it, brother.
We don't see what you're giving up here. The way you've submitted this trade is just that you're getting Warren, Henry, and McLaurin for free. And I assume that's not the case. So I'm going to give you a free voucher to come back and ask that question.
Appreciate you.
8 Crazy Nights. What's up, man? HN Golden Alave in Dynasty or a second Brees and T-Mac?
I guess T-Mac and... Oh, gosh. My initial thought is...
Are you concerned at all that when Mike McDaniels is fired, how the offense changes in Miami? Because if you look 100%. At these stat lines for Devon Achane, I mean, it's not like they're... And it's not... I'm not even saying it's his fault. I just, like... Is the next play caller going to give him 8 targets a game?
No, I agree. My initial thought was I want Ted. I think Ted is, if he continues the way he goes, he's going to be drafted ahead of Devon. And Brees.
It's a pretty even trade. I mean,
I don't think you can get a first for Olave. So in my eyes, I'm seeing this as Olave for that second, Devon for Ted, and then Matthew Golden for Brees. That's how I'm currently seeing it. And with my concern with Golden is that, like you said, it's a Jameson Williams type of situation. But I think this offense is going to be so good for a long time that they're going to continue to run that ball no matter who they bring in that backfield.
Can you do one more small move in this and add Brian to the side you're sending and get Benson? I think that would be my last counter, but overall I think it's an even trade.
Yeah. Appreciate you, 8 Crazy Nights.
There's between HN and T-Mac, I don't think T-Mac's role will change in the next 2 years. And I don't know if HN's will or not, because McDaniel clearly loves, getting the ball to him out of the backfield. They're kind of emulating the run game through the air with him. But yeah.
Torn between Debo and Sutton in my flex, which I completely understand. I would
hold on. Easy Vanya, please stop yelling at us, guys. We had to turn the super chats off. The people who are submitting their super chats are gonna have to wait like an hour and a half to 2 hours even to get us to answer them. But you can very easily ask a super chat on the Flock site too. I'm sorry. It's just unfair to you guys. Raruk, unless people are fine to do that, but anyway. Rook says torn between Sutton or Debo in my flex. What do you think?
For me, this would be Debo.
Okay, I'm probably going to go Sutton just with the quarterback change there. I think that's enough to move the needle to Sutton for me. But it's close.
That's fair. That's fair.
Sanjo Wall looks like quarterback is Allen at running back.
Wall, Connor. Between Connor and
Yeah.
Warren, I'm gonna go Connor still. Chase Brown, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, David Njoku. You go Roma Dunze.
Yeah, can't say that Dunze.
Yeah. Money Mitch. Shout out to Money Mitch. Drake May, Nico Collins, Drake London. You are sitting away, receiving Lamar and Chase. Start 9. So you're giving up a lot of depth here. My initial thought is no. Hopefully you have your team linked. You do have your team linked. I mean, you're giving Nico and Drake, who are your top 2 wide receivers. You would have Terry, Rome, Josh Downs. I don't think you should do this trade. Drake May is doing just as good. I get you want Jamar Chase, but the depth I think is more important here in the start 9.
Yeah. Maybe you make this trade if Joe Burrow was still around, but it's not like Drake May's not a great option in a 12-team start 7. You're in a start 9. So yeah. I'm going to say heavy pass on this. I prefer Collins over Chase, but it's close. So I'm not willing to send, May and London away for Lamar Jackson. So it's a hard pass for me.
I agree. This is a dynasty team by 6. Russell Wilson, Marcus Mariota here. At the running back position, Travis Etienne. I see Stevenson, Amarion, JCM. It would be JCM for me as well. Brian Terry. With Tyler Warren and Jameson.
I don't see myself changing his flex from Jameson.
Anything else? Yeah. I agree. I think that's the starting lineup there. Appreciate you.
Jacob says, haven't accepted it yet, but I'm in need of depth. He would send away Hunter and Collins for Pollard, Hubbard, and Sutton. Okay. Interesting. I hate the Tony Pollard part of the deal. I wasn't joking when I sent Pollard away in the Flock League. As soon as I got Tony Pollard, I did not want Tony Pollard. So I guess he's doing it because he needs running back help.
Yeah, Travis Hunter and Nico is your team. Devon Nachan, Quinshawn. 12-team start A. I mean, I get it.
A lot of injuries.
Yeah, I get it because he has Worthy, Jawan.
Can Pollard be someone else, please?
I don't know who else it would be. It would have to be a wide receiver. But he's not going to give up Mason, unless he does. I guess you can counter with Mason, but yeah, I mean, Jordan Addison comes back after this week. I don't know what your record is. You can kind of take a chance with that. And my initial thought here is like, I know you're struggling at running back, but I think the wide receivers are really important here. And I think if you lose both of them for running back depth and you get Cortland Sutton, I think you put yourself in the same position. Like you're bad at running back, and then you'll be struggling at wide receiver. So you kind of have to weigh the options of which one you want to be bad at.
I love this deal, but I don't like the players in the deal, like Tony Pollard. What if you could he send you Macy if you send him Tracy? It's not Dr. Seuss, but could he meet you there? I don't know. I get why you're in a tough spot there.
Yeah, I don't think it necessarily helps. You just put yourself in my eyes, it puts you in the same position. You're just worse in the opposite
I think
position.
Nico's got a big blow up game in my mind this week, so I'd be careful unless you get that Mason side of the trade added on.
Yeah.
Oogly boogly, it looks like the flex spot is where they're struggling between Dobbins and Jameson.
I would be going Jameson still.
10-teamer, gotta shoot for the upside, right? Gotta shoot for the 100-yard game in a TUD, even though it's not guarantee. Gotta shoot for the upside. The
The
Beast O
Beast.
is selling Kraft Connor high. I like
I like
Ferguson.
Ferguson. Oh wow. I mean,
I like Ferguson too,
I
but you're not selling high by doing this deal.
no. I mean, if you're selling high, you're technically down tiering according to Zach's rankings in general. So like now, if you go to expert consensus on the site, I'm guarantee you everyone would have Tucker Kraft higher than Jake
Well,
Ferguson.
he's more like asking if he should, because he's actually
If
upgrading
he
from
should,
Connor to Brees.
right? Is this
But
selling? I don't think it would be selling high still with this. I mean, Brees is a tier up from Connor,
not
but
significant enough to make the move where
exactly.
you move off Kraft.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe. What if you had a JCM into the deal and sent like, yeah, I mean, don't want to send any of your running backs, so that's a problem. You've already got a lot of great running backs.
Yeah, I would just hold this. I don't necessarily
I like
love this trade.
I like the idea of getting off of Connor, but I mean, Kraft could be the next great tight end. I mean, we could be looking at George Kittle's best, like a George Kittle year. I'm just trying to think what else we could do in this trade. I don't know that there is enough on his team to get a deal done. Unless we make like Metcalf for Golden or something.
Yeah.
I don't think that trade's gonna work for you guys. Jahan, Baker, JT, Chase Brown, or Chuba Hubbard this week. I'll go Chase.
Yeah. At that flex, you go Tet.
And at the flex, Tet over Chuba.
Yeah, I would.
I think Chuba is safer here.
Okay.
But I agree, in a 10-team start 7, you should probably shoot for the moon.
I would also say, like, I know weather at the moment, it says like 40-something% chance of rain, and I think like that can play. Actually, no, not in the Panthers game. That's in the Cowboys-Bears game, but I think regardless, you're still going to go
The
crazy,
Beast
hopefully.
says, is this a stupid trade overvaluing stacks? So he would send away Scatterboo, Jefferson, Smith for Chuba, Brown, Pickens. I don't think this is a stupid trade. When I look at this, I see obviously the one area you're losing here is going from Jefferson to AJ. Jefferson's going to be much better. Then Smith and Pickens, pick your poison. Scatterboo to Hubbard, I think, is an upgrade. But it's a 10-team league. I doubt you really need to do this. Scats is RB5.
Yeah, I think the upgrade is significant enough for Cam to Chuba. So
I think it's about as even as a trade can get, because you could justify the Jefferson AJ Brown downgrade is as good as the upgrade from Scat to Hubbard. So
yeah,
I think this is about as even as it gets. I am worried to sell Jefferson before we see what Wentz does in that offense, but I think it's pretty even to the Beast. You can go either way. Ricky says, once upgrade RB2 comfortable with wide receivers, I'd like Bucky Waddle, but I doubt that would happen. Okay.
setting Nico and Ricky, receiving Kenneth Walker, AJ Brown.
I don't like losing the best player in the deal here.
Yeah, Nico. So you running backs is Kyron Henderson. This is a 10-man league. There's no one on the waiver wires. Yeah, fair. Yeah, I wouldn't love this. I would agree with Zach.
Adding
Not
Walker
ideal.
is going to be great this week, though, because he doesn't have another name that he can start confident outside of Kyron. And he can start AJ and Ken Walker straight away. If you're 0-2, you make this deal. Which we don't know if you are, but
No, we don't.
if you're 0-2, you probably make this deal.
This other guy has a bunch of running backs. I would try and counter with JCM or Javante or something, giving you his worst running back for sure, obviously for a reason.
Right, like if you get
You're
Javante
giving
instead
him,
of Walker, you take it.
yeah, but you're giving him your best player.
Hmm.
You look right. You have to say like, hey, I'm giving you my best player, and I'm getting your second best running back. I think that's pretty fair. Or third best running back technically.
Yeah, he said I love Bucky and Waddle. Yeah, I don't think you get Bucky and Waddle.
Yeah. Appreciate you though, Ricky.
I think
That's love.
Javante, AJ. You could even make it a 3-for-3 where you get JCM and send Benson. That would probably even make more sense for you.
Yeah, that would definitely work. That would help you out significantly.
By the way, this person said they're thinking about giving up Chuba because they're starting T-Mac. But they would send Chuba and Amon-Ra for Jacobs and JSN.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
It's Dynasty.
Oh, this is Dynasty. Josh, Jake.
Oddly enough, that doesn't change as much as it would for other questions. But...
Yeah, it doesn't. I would still take the JSN Jacobs side. I think Amon-Ra and the way JSM is playing right now, specifically with the way JSN is playing right now, I think he locked himself as a second round pick if he continues to play the way he does, kind of like the way Rome is playing. Amon-Ra probably late first, second round, that 1-2 turn. And Jacobs is probably going to go 2 to 3 rounds higher than Chuba currently, even after aging a year. So I'll take the Jacobs JSN side.
I feel like when you send Amon-Ra off a 3-touchdown game, you could probably get more. Like, I feel like you could probably get a second round pick in this. If you have a third to send, you can do a pick swap. If not, I don't think it's that far off. Messed up my lineup last time. This is my accurate team. Okay, no worries. So Jake Browning, Bijan Henry, Adunze at wide receiver. I would go Mike Evans there. At flex, yeah, wow. I mean, what the hell? Oh, safe and sound. You always give us the most difficult questions. I have no idea how to answer this flex question.
I would be going.
I would probably play Javante over Ken, even if Charbonnet is out.
Yes, I'm there with you, but I feel like I just can't sit Lad as well. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna be starting Mike and Lad, but once again, you are sitting a whole starting lineup.
Rome. Rome's my #1 ranked receiver of all these names. They're all like must starts. I get it, but
appreciate you saying
again with the Jake Browning thing. He mentioned if this is the same lineup, he mentioned I want to start Jake Browning because my opponent has Jamar Chase. Imagine you do that and you can start Adunze and Caleb. What if that stack goes off and you just were focused on like his team? So, all right, I think we're getting close. I feel like we're getting close.
Let me know if that's correct. Mick.
Yes, we are getting close. Mick here.
Yeah, so should I try and upgrade from Pollard or just roll with him and bank on one of the rookies? I think it depends on what you can upgrade to.
Yeah, we don't have any information on your team here, man. All we see is text when you do a super message, but we don't really know what rookies you have. You know, it's a very generalized question. I don't really know. Every player is a little bit different, right? So, I don't know how to answer this question, honestly.
Unless like he's just asking, should I do? Yeah, I don't know how to answer the question either, actually. Yeah. Appreciate you, Mick. Puka JT is next. He says, "Hey guys, hope y'all win this year. Good luck. Appreciate you."
What we're gonna do is give him a free trade question voucher, by the way, because I I don't know how to answer that question. It's just if you guys go to the website, by the way, and you're submitting a super message, just know that that's only text. You haven't linked any team or anything. So if you want to link your team, you know, whether it's Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo, you can do that first, and then let's say you wanted to ask a trade question. Well, your team's already linked there. And I know a lot of people have had problems linking with ESPN. I want to say this like respectfully. A lot of times it is user error, which is why we keep posting these exact steps. And if it ever isn't user error, then you can always talk to our developers who are available for you in the Discord. But we always put that in the announcements tab like every couple days. Okay, just want to make sure we give him all the resources he needs. Puka says, hey guys, hope y'all win this year. Good luck. Thank you. They would send away Allen, Charbonnet, and Harvey for Baker, Warren, and Scadaboo. I don't really see why you would do this.
Start 7, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
unless your running backs are completely garbage and you don't have your team linked. But yeah.
Still, I mean, Warren and Scadaboo, obviously you prefer them over Charbonnet and Harvey right now, but you're selling at the wrong time on a Harvey.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is by far and away the most valuable player in this deal, so it's a hard pass for me.
Jonah says 0-2 so far. Need a win.
Yep.
Quarterback so Mahomes, Bo Nix, yeah. Oh yeah, it's QB. Sure, I'm gonna go Bo Nix there.
Same. JCM at RB over Tracy for me.
Agreed. Brian Thomas, Ibuka, Brock Bowers, and I see Drake London.
Yeah, can't sit London.
And I also see Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers seems like the next logical one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the next one. Let me just double check. I don't think I see anything else. Yeah.
Nope. That's the best lineup there. Thank you, Jonah. Nickel and Dime would send away Kyron, Jacoby, and Rice for a second and Brian Thomas. I'm all aboard buying Brian Thomas low, but this is not an example of doing that. Rashee Rice is, in my opinion, like an elite asset in Dynasty. So I really don't think you're really getting much value. Like, how do I explain this? Remove Kyron from the trade entirely. And then I think you need to ask the question if you really believe in Brian Thomas that much. So right now you're overpaying by a significant margin. But yeah, I mean, I don't like this trade. I don't like giving up Bryce. I like the idea of buying low on Brian Thomas, but I'd rather that be... Let's see who you have here. I'd rather that be like Tyreek Hill and Jacoby Myers in a second or something. I know that's probably not possible, but that's like a counter. You don't even need the second back, but I just don't want to do a deal that means I'm giving up Rashee Rice. That's as simple as it is.
Yeah,
definitely not the deal you sent through. That is like robbery for whoever gets the side that you're sending.
Completely agree. Appreciate you, though.
Sends away Hampton and JCM for Jonathan Taylor. I have no problem with this. Let's take JCM or JT.
JT, okay. I agree.
And he also said, would you do this for Ibuka or Etienne? Just take Jonathan Taylor, man.
Yeah.
Just take the best player that is available to you.
Donald, he says, opinion Etienne for Jacobs trade. And then the next trade is Tet or Lad.
Etienne for Jacobs. I have no strong opinion on that. They're both in the same tier. You can say you prefer Jacobs because there's no Bashul Tootin on his heels. Then Lad or Tet. I prefer Tet rest of season.
Yeah, I still prefer Lad. So hopefully that helps. If it does at all.
Jay Dollar says, I'm also about to send Caleb for Alec and Fannin. I think I can trade up for a wide receiver one later. He would send away Neighbors, Addison. Hard pass for me.
Agreed.
I'm not going to give up Malik Neighbors. Now, yeah, I don't really care about sending Caleb for Alec and Fannin.
For Alec and Fannin,
I mean,
that doesn't. Yeah,
it's not a bad trade, but you already have Tyler Warren. I don't know how that trade helps you. Now,
and you already have oh well, you have Caleb. Sorry, yeah, never mind.
Now he has Pacheco at RB2, so that's probably why he's wanting to do this.
I would just try and send, like, I think what you're trying to do is right, but maybe with the wrong players. Like you said, you would send Caleb and something for Fannin and Alec. Why don't you just do it for a low end running back? Because you're never going to start Caleb.
Yeah, whatever that team is that has Alec and Fannin, don't ask for Alec or Fannin, just ask for a startable running back.
Yeah, like that can be, I would do that for like the Cam Scatterboost, the DeAndre Swift, the Ramondre Stevensons. Like, you're never going to start this guy. He's a waiver wire pickup right now. We're telling everyone to pick him up. Like,
yeah,
get a Trey Benson or RJ Harvey or Tootin, something.
I will say, like, this is a good buy low on Terry, but I just don't like Neighbors being the reason you do it. J $.
Yeah.
All right, are we?
That's injured. Zach Charbonnet, by the way. Anyways.
Yeah. Are we up to date here on the site? I think we could. No, we're not. 10-10. At RB2, you're going to start Genty for sure. Then at Flex, you're between Mason, Pickens. We've had this question so much this week. So much. It's PPR. Like, depending on your lineups, I'll flip-flop my answer.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was gonna say. Like, depending on who the other guy has on in that flex, if that guy in that flex has a Jameson Williams, a Kenneth Walker, a Travis Etienne, I would just go George Pickens. You need that upside. Yeah. But if he's starting like somehow Mooney,
Yeah.
a Mooney and one of those low end type guys, I would just go with the safer floor Mason. So,
yep. Easy Vanya, look at that, brother. We got you on the site. Thanks for being here, man. He says Evans, Wilson, Myers, pick 2. Hawk, Ertz, Goddard. You know, the beautiful thing about this, Vanya, is even if you weren't here on stream, I'm sure you're here, brother, but you would get a time code to exactly when we answered your question. How good is this? Evans, Wilson, Myers, pick 2. Let's start there. Evans and Wilson. Yep. Myers isn't far off. Then Hawk, Ertz, Goddard.
Wow. Let me look that up.
Haven't had the question like that this week. I don't really have any Hawkinson
Ertz,
trust.
Goddard. I technically have Zach Ertz higher.
Yeah, same.
Than TJ Hawk. In order, it will be Ertz, Hawkinson, then Goddard.
And then Walker flex over Etienne. So Walker's a tough player to sit. I can't believe I have to face Walker without Charbonnet in the Flock League.
Are you playing?
I'm playing Danny. It's
yeah, it's annoying.
So frustrating.
Well, to be fair, even if Zach Charbonnet was there, I played against him last week and he got into the end zone. Like,
yeah, but now he plays the Saints and he's gonna get 30 touches.
Yeah.
I mean, would you start Walker over Etienne though?
I would start Walker over Etienne. I have Walker over Etienne this week.
If Charbonnet somehow plays, then it's Etienne. But if he doesn't, then yeah, probably Walker. Simon says JCM, Henderson, or Tootin as RB2 in PPR. I'm going to go JCM here. Reports have come out. If you haven't seen that, they kind of want to feature the run game this week, and JCM's a big part of that. And, you know, the offense will change, but Mariota is a perfect backup to run that offense. All right, did we finally catch up?
I think we did.
So we have to do these team reviews today. So I think what we'll do next is answer these super chats and then get to the team reviews.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is going to be a problem because
I know we can't see them, but I can pull them up.
Well, Gabriel submitted a super chat and he doesn't have anything there. So Gabriel Hargis, if you are still here and you did a super chat, please put your question in the chat currently. And if not, we are so sorry.
Yeah, I can't really say anything if we don't have any information. Let's see.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna turn this. Will this work? Okay, nice. Okay, so let's just answer Dinesh's then.
Yeah, start Jones or Daniel Jones or Kyler Murray. I think I have Daniel Jones higher than Kyler. Let me just triple check. No, they're actually back to back. I have Kyler over Daniel Jones this week.
I've got Daniel Jones one spot higher. I don't really have a strong opinion though, so that's not helpful at all. I just think there's enough momentum to ride the Indiana Jones train, which if Daniel Jones ends up being really good, that's one of the coolest nicknames of all time for a quarterback. All right, Michael.
He's Scott, Henderson, or Bill. Bill for us.
Yeah, Bill. Michael.
Drop Hollywood for AO. Yes.
Would you?
I would, because look, how about Michael? Maybe I can re-answer that question. I think if you have one more week to see what Hollywood can be, if he drops a 20 bomb, then what you should do is sell him to the highest bidder, and then pick up Ellick. That's probably the best answer, but in reality, it's going into week 4 next week, and it's 2 weeks away from when Rashee Rice comes back, and Hollywood is going to be irrelevant. So maybe you should just drop him, but if not, once again, great matchup against the Giants this week. So
yeah, I'm gonna lean May, but it's close between him and Dak, and then I don't know, like if you envision yourself ever starting Hollywood, I would keep him. If not, then I'd rather stash Ellick. Rob says trade my Chase and Hubbard for Lamb and ETN. What Chase is that though? Like, is that Jamar Chase? Is that Chase Brown? Let's say it's Jamar Chase and Chuba Hubbard for Lamb and ETN. I'll take the Lamb and ETN side pretty easily. Either way, actually, now that we're looking at it.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Sab92, should I flex McLaurin or Mbuka? We'll still go Mbuka there. And then Dan had a question in the chat as well. I think I might be able to go up to Dan. Yeah, I can see Dan's. But where's your question?
Well, the next one is Sobs.
Well, yeah, that's the one I just answered. I said Mbuka over Terry.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Daniel, yeah, we don't really see Daniel's.
Dan's question. He did put something. I would imagine he put something in the chat. I can't see his question.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see him in the chat either. This is why he got it. This side is just so much better. Last super chat before we turned it off was from Not Silent Majority. It says Hollywood at flex this week. His last week as a chance productive, or as Mahomes and show again Hollywood, Tootin, Hampton, or Chubb. So those are his options there: Hollywood, Tootin, Hampton, or Chubb. Probably just put Hollywood out there then, if those are all your best options. If it's PPR, if it's half PPR, Chubb. But assuming it's full PPR, then Hollywood. But you don't really have like a clear answer there. They're all difficult decisions to make.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Just having another look for Dan really fast, but I don't see it. Sorry, brother.
Yeah.
Sorry, my man.
All right, we got some questions on the site. Super chats are off. Sorry, guys, we can't handle the super chats right now with the way the stream is going. But
especially for the people that do like the way they submit.
You can ask your question on the site. It's definitely easier for us and probably better for you. But Big Boy Crispy says, need help since Swift is still questionable to start tomorrow. Please help. So he's starting Josh Allen, Chase Brown, Mason, London, Lamb at tight end between Njoku and Goddard. Is Goddard playing?
Goddard is playing, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, we got a report that Swift was going to play.
Yeah,
Unless
Swift
I'm
should play.
unless I'm tripping about that. So,
Um,
anyways,
I really don't have a strong opinion on these two names. I will lean Goddard if he plays because of the Rams matchup. At flex,
it's gonna be Debo
Pickens and Debo.
and Pickens. Yeah, I wouldn't be starting Swift anyway. So,
Of the options, Swift isn't an awful start.
yeah.
It's actually a good matchup, but just have better opportunities there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Sir, I think we did maybe get one more. We're going to have to do after this one is you guys can still submit questions on the site, but we're going to have to start these team reviews. From Benzami, I'm going to go Knicks here. Then at RB, between Hampton, Spears, and Tracy.
I'm going to go Hampton.
Yeah, probably your best option. At wide receiver,
Devonta. I'm going to go Devonta Smith. And then it's between Downs and Hunter for me, which sounds crazy. I'm pretty sure I have Hunter over Downs. Let me just double check. Yes, I do have Travis Hunter over Josh Downs.
no Jennings love? I think Jennings would be my top ranked guy here.
Jawan Jennings, I do have in between, actually. Let me just double check.
I would go Jennings if he plays. He clearly is got more inbuilt chemistry with Mac Jones.
No, I still have Hunter over Jennings.
10 targets last week from Mr. Mac Jones.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
I would go Jennings if he's healthy.
He is, right?
I don't know. But if he's not, then I'd probably go Hunter.
I think I saw a report from him as well.
Yeah.
Jawan Jennings questionable for week 3. Yeah, so stay tuned to that. The problem is you kind of have to make the decision because I'm pretty sure the 49ers play in the afternoon game. So
yeah,
that might be tough.
All right. Let's get to these team reviews.
Okay, let me make a thing for
So
them.
Frosty Canadian is up first, and he says startup was this offseason, drafted young mostly and for the future. Started 0-2, not panicking, but want to retool build for up for 26 and 27 picks for older middle-aged players. Yep. That makes sense. Currently have a good trade going through. I'm sending Jordan Love for Cam Ward and a 27 first. Have interest in Nico and Njoku and Pollard. The fact that you have interest in Pollard is great, so we can definitely look at that. And his team name is Frosty Canadian. Well, it's got to be something else because I don't see it.
No, M Garbo.
Right. Okay.
I think it's M is his team name. All right, let's have a look. You currently ranked first out of 12, which is awesome. Daniels, Ward, Jackson, Milrow with Harvey, JCM, Benson, Tony. Wide receivers are Nico, Jackson, Jordan, Ricky, Matthew with David and Njoku. You have your first there. And this is a start 10. So this is a bit of a deeper league, a middle ground actually, in a super flex. Untouchables, no doubt, is going to be Jaden Daniels. And probably Nico Collins, but happy to shop him if need be. Holds. The holds are probably the Darts, the Cam Wards, the Bensons, yeah.
Horton.
Trey Benson and what was the other one you said?
Horton.
Torrey Horton, yeah. And then drops, which you don't have to do this now, but Tyquan Thornton, Taj Brooks, you can drop.
Be careful dropping him. He's RB2 if something happens, but
Yeah,
doesn't have many guys I want to drop, to be honest. Outside of Tyquan.
You don't. Once again, you don't have to drop these guys because you're kind of in season. We'll get a little bit more. Draft capital is just going to be a B flat. For me, this team grade is a 2-quarterback league. Yeah. Not in love with the QB2. You have some good depth. Your RB2 right now is... Your running back room is not the strongest, but the wide receiver room is good. And I think this is kind of like a B flat team for me.
Yeah, I think B flat's pretty fair. I think I'm fine with the B flat, honestly. Then after that, he's 0-2. I mean, the thing is, I think if you're like, he has this idea that he wants to sell off a lot of these names. I don't really see names that you should sell off. I think if you do, you're probably going to be like outside of Pollard. But I don't even think this is a team that like is ruled out of the playoffs, to be honest. Once you get Jordan Addison back in your flex, you can start Daniels. I guess you have to start Ward. That sucks because Love would have been better this year. But you got to pick, which could be fun. Then you've got JC and Pollard starting for now. JSN and Nico and Njoku. That's 7. Pearsall and Addison make it 9. And then you have to start one more player between Harvey and Benson and Matthew Golden. So I think if you keep a Tony Pollard, I don't think playoffs are really completely out of the picture. But I understand why he wants to build long term. So I guess let's just pursue what he wants to pursue, which is basically punting this year. Like, if it sounds like if he had his way, it would be a punt. So,
by the way, sorry, really quick, I would just pick up Terrence Ferguson and then just Anthony Richardson for the lows, just in case there's some sort of injury with Daniel Jones or whatever the case may be. Maybe you could sell him for a third. They're both on waiver wires, and not really like Terrence Ferguson. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, no. So would you, I guess, like Tony Pollard, we can trade. I don't have a strong opinion to trade other names here, but just looking at his rookies as well. So Tony Pollard, we can definitely look at a trade. Outside of Tony Pollard, there's no one here on this team that I really feel like you have to move. You know?
I agree.
But as far as your rookie draft goes, you got JCM. He must have been an absolute steal for you. Got Dart, which you can wait on him. Golden hasn't panned out yet, but looks good. Woody Marks looks like another great, young stash. I would put this at like a C+ only because there's no like locked and loaded guaranteed names that are going to dominate for you. Tony Pollard, I would take, an early second at this point. I don't think that's really realistic. I would say like any second is probably realistic. But of course, if you can push for an early one, you should do that. Now, we can also try and find a team that is maybe competitive, but needs running back. And this team is 1-1. They have Caleb Johnson. So can you just flip Tony Pollard into Caleb Johnson, for example? Right? And that's really going to suit your desire to punt entirely, because that's what you're going to be doing if you do that. He also has other names, like a Jaden Higgins. We could sell Tony Pollard for Jaden Higgins. I'm also fine with that. Let's see. Is there another team that's competitive? This guy's 1-1. He's got Jacobs and just lost Aaron Jones. So could you get Ollie Gordon in a second? I think that's asking a lot, but maybe send Pollard in a fourth. I don't know. Those two teams definitely have a need. There's no doubt about it. Outside of those two teams, I'm not really sure another team really wants a Tony Pollard. Could you trade him for a Luther Burden? Right? Those are some ways that you can pivot off him if you're trying to do the punt. But, yeah. I understand why you'd be getting interest in Nico. I wouldn't really want to sell him personally, especially right now. But David Njoku, you said you're getting interest. I think that's another player, like if you get any second in any year, I think you can take that at this point. But, yeah. I think you're in a good spot. I don't think you need to like send these players away, but if you are going to, those are some ideas.
Those are the names that we would do it for, yeah. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the support. Frosted Canadian, I'm pretty sure you've got multiple playbooks from us in the past, so you know how you get that. You'll be receiving that here within 24 to 48 hours on the Flock Fantasy website. A message system, so we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Okay.
All right.
Easy R Junior 2 is next
ESR
here.
Junior 2.
Okay, let's have a look at this team here. He says, my questions are, do I sell or hold Joe Burrow because of the injury? Do I move someone like Henderson for a quarterback or just hold? My 26 first is going to be an early, might be the 101 to the 103. Watch all the content. Okay, well, appreciate
Thanks,
you.
man.
You're currently ranked 4th out of 12 or 14, starting 9. So this is a meat and potatoes. Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield.
His name is Anarchy.
Yeah, Anarchy, yeah. Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz, who picked up Tyrod Taylor as well. Travion, Jonathan, Brees, and the list goes on. The running back, Malik, Brian, and Mika, DJ, Debo. And also the list goes on with Brenton Strange, Mike Gesicki. You have your first and 26, no first and 27. So I'm just going to give that like a C plus, B minus type of grade. In the draft capital, your untouchables be Malik, Brian Thomas.
So let's keep in mind he doesn't have his own first either. I don't know if you said that or not, but not only this year, but next year.
Oh, he doesn't have his first this year. Okay.
Or
he
next
does have
year.
a first, not his. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
So that puts us in a interesting position when evaluating this team. But really
Look,
important context.
My initial thought for that your question of selling Joe Burrow, I wouldn't do that. I'm not necessarily sure
No,
if
I don't
you
want to
can
sell Joe.
Yeah, unless somebody's
you
willing
might
to
have
give
to.
you the value of something. Yeah.
Like if you
somebody's
could
willing
sell
to give
Burrow
you the
for
same
like
value.
Nixon something, I think you might have to do something
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean?
But you're currently 1-1 right
You can't
now.
like sell him for nothing, but at the same time, you've kind of boxed yourself in with this team.
I think I would rather use that 26 first that is not yours to go out and get a quarterback if possible.
Well, we can definitely explore that, but yeah, we can explore that and see what that looks like.
Let's go through some admin here.
Is waiver wire anything interesting? Not really.
No, not really.
No.
So
naked,
Malik,
completely
BCJ,
naked.
Joe Burrow are going to be your untouchables, guys that you're not going to trade. Your holds for the future, not much. I guess they're going to be those low win guys because, like, obviously you're not going to be selling a Mika, you're not going to be selling Travion. So I guess it's best to just say like the DJ Giddens, and just see what's going to happen there. I would also say the Brenton Strange still, and then there's a bunch of drops that you can do if you really wanted to. The Greg Dortches, the Sterling Shepherds, the Kayvon Turpins, the Kendrick Bournes, the Miles Sanders, all those guys can be droppable if you wanted to. But once again, you don't have to do these moves now. And that's overall team. I do like this team. I like the running back room. I like the wide receiver room. Really strong. Tight end's not the strongest. Considering the team, since this is Dynasty and not considering in season, I think this team is like a B plus. Now with Joe Burrow, that brings it down to maybe like a B minus based off of your depth at quarterback.
And the fact that you're so strapped on draft capital.
Yeah, so
I kind of lean B minus too. It's not a bad team, but you really need to win right now, and I think that puts you as a Windows open type of roster.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we're definitely on the same page. I would say you and I looking at this team. But anything admin other than that we need to cover?
No, that's all. That's everything.
Okay, so looked at your rookie draft that you released, the rookie haul you have. Henderson, Hunter, Giddens. Love Henderson. You're going to have to be patient with him. And I wouldn't really force like a sell of Henderson right now. You kind of need youth like that on your team. Now, I'm going to come up with a bunch of ideas for you with this whole Joe Burrow thing. Because I think if we can pivot to a Knicks, May, Mahomes, Mayfield, Purdy, those look like different returns with all those names. But that's probably your best case scenario. My question, man, is how you should have dropped all of your fab on Jake Browning. So who got Jake Browning? It's a 14-team league. Maybe Jake Browning was already rostered.
Probably.
So that would have really put you in a better spot, but I guess it doesn't really matter now. Okay, so let's look at the Knicks team. Maybe we can do something here. So I want to see the record of these teams too. So the Knicks team is 2-0. That doesn't help. Yeah. Hard to go to a 2-0 team and be like, "Hey man, you want a quarterback you can't play anymore?"
Yeah.
But even if you could offer like Knicks and Pickens or something, which might be asking too much at this point. If that interests him, then it would be hard for you not to at least ask the question. Oh, that's probably asking too much, but again, that's a conversation starter. Drake May. Let's go to Drake May. If you can get Drake May and JCM, that's probably enough for me to do it. In an ideal world, he doesn't have a second round pick, does he? This team? No.
Our guy? No, yeah. He doesn't.
So that also limits your flexibility. What about Drake May and Jaden Higgins? That might be more realistic. Higgins has less hype right now. I'd like that.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Okay, tough because that guy's 2-0 again. How about the Mahomes owner? What's their team look like? Because you could maybe just do it straight swap.
Straight swap, yeah.
They are 1-1. They have a Daniels injury. Their running back room is really bad. I think that team would be open to a, hey, I'm gonna get these points off my team type of situation. So, yeah, straight up from Mahomes, I think is maybe your best option so far compared to all these teams. But if you can find your way into like a Keon Coleman, if you send a third in that deal or something, maybe that's what you try first. If not, you take a straight up deal. Baker Mayfield would be awesome. Again, don't know. You have Baker. I'm an idiot. I apologize. Burrow. Or sorry, Purdy. Purdy owner is 2-0, but their team is not good. I mean, can you get Purdy and what? I mean, that guy has no first round picks anyway.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
It'd have to be like something like Purdy and Ladd, but that's also like a big ask from someone. You'd have to give up like Joe Burrow and Jaden Reed, or wait, you don't have Jaden Reed. Sorry. I don't know how you get there, honestly, dude. Yeah, that might not work. That might not be possible. Yep. These are the ideas I have, though. Now, alternatively, you can move Burrow and a first. Who has all these picks?
Well, the pick that he has, his name is No Regrets. No Ragrats. He's team 10. He's clearly going to be a top 2 pick.
Yeah.
Now, with the context of how obvious this is going to be, the 101, I think you can just sell this straight up for a quarterback over that 101.
So he has no regrets.
He has no regrets first. So like that first is actually already valuable already. People know this because how obvious how bad his team is.
Well, that's the most valuable. You only do if people need to know how valuable it is. Otherwise,
that's
you keep
what I'm saying.
It. Yeah.
You only do that if you can get a top tier guy.
So you go after like the Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. That's it, really.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll go Jaden Daniels there as well. But yes, that's where I think that's where you could potentially go if you wanted to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you send it straight up for a Drake May. Because again, if it's guaranteed the 101, that's a conversation you can have. A Bo Nix maybe. So there's at least some flexibility there, but only sell that pick if you get a really nice return. Otherwise, that pick will be more valuable in May of next year, in April of next year. There's no doubt about it. So
yeah,
hopefully that's helpful. Go ahead.
Last thing I would just say is like, you don't have much depth or picks. You have thirds in 27 and fourths. Can I send a fourth and a third for Matthew Stafford? For
Geno Smith.
the Geno Smiths, yeah, of the world. It's like that will be the last other resort that you could potentially go. Can I send a third for Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Just so you have something. Other than that, that's probably the last thing that you could potentially do there.
Like Badaki said, last resort there. So, all right. One more question here from Easy Vanya for the day.
Come on, Easy Vanya.
What do you think here?
Sorry, I'm just refreshing. Okay, sorry. He says flex Warren, Pollard, Lad, Allen, or Scat. I'm still will be starting Lad over all these guys. Now, I'm not lying, but like, to be completely honest, Warren is really close with that, right?
Yeah. No, I agree.
But the first two, in order, it will be Lad, Warren, Allen, Pollard, Scat. So if that helps in any way.
If, I feel like this is a really good matchup for Lad.
Yeah, I think so as well.
He should be much more valuable this game in the slot. I know he's not only slot exclusive, but Warren is probably the safest floor. Lad's probably the safest or the highest upside there. I think we have one more question before we log off for the day. Let's see. It just was submitted there, and that's from Shay. He would send away Puka and Ridley for Nico, Higgins, Mason. No, I'm not giving up Puka for that in a start 7. He's probably doing this because he needs help at running back. Aaron Jones will be back at some point this year. He's got Jacobs and David Montgomery. Yeah, your depth isn't great, but I just don't think you can give up Puka for that. So I would hold Puka.
Yeah, I would agree. Hold Puka.
All right, guys. No worries, Vanya. All right, guys, that's it for today. Hey, if there is any questions that come through on the site, we'll be answering them throughout, all the way up until kickoff. But that is it for today, guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Nothing but love.
Love.